This is your government review for the test over chapter 6, 9, and 10. And we're going through the notes over starting with 6. And I may skip some of it that did not have anything that you need to put in memory. So let's go on through this. This is chapter 6. There's not a lot in this. So remember the Simpson Act required businesses to make sure everyone was a U.S. citizen, and the political culture is our view of how our society should work. And let's go to the next one. Now, political socialization, there's several questions on that, and that is how you get your views on different topics. Your family's first. You get it from your family, and then the mass media, and then schools. And let's go on over here. On the edge here it says random sampling. Random sampling is the same as a sample poll, where that you ask a small amount of people and they will represent a large amount, except a random is required that everyone that you want to sample must have an equal opportunity to be picked. So you got to call everybody in the phone book if you're going to sample a town or something like that. Okay, there's another political participation. Majority of the people who vote do not vote in most of the elections, especially some of the major elections. We have a poor voting turnout in the United States, and we're going through pretty quick. Here is the idea that hopefully everyone still believes that they personally can affect how the government is handled, and they still believe that they can influence public policy. Okay, nomination. If you're going to run for something, you must nominate yourself, either personally or get someone else to nominate you. This is usually done by a press conference. Now remember, the primaries is how we elect the one person to run for one office from every party. So we have a slate of Republicans who want to run for governor, and we'll vote which one do we want to run for governor against a Democrat. Caucus is a way to get delegates, just like the primaries and so on, but it's done a different way where you'll go to a meeting. The Democrats in the McGovern Commission set quotas, so how many young people should be chosen, how many women, how many minorities, and so on. Now, the Democrats came up with super delegates after the 1972 election where McGovern got killed, and these are people who are party members, and they're given a seat of a delegate, and hopefully they can override choice if the people make a bad choice. Horse race journalism, that's when the media is much more important and much more interested in how the race is being run, who's ahead, who's behind, who is gaining ground, and they're not that interested in the actual issues. Here at the bottom, crucial election. Remember, we said a crucial election is when, for some reason, that there's a swing from one party to another, and there have been usually big events like the Civil War or the Great Depression that happens. And then the Federal Election Campaign Act required every candidate to make a list of who has given them money, how they spend the money, and how much did they give each one. And then the Federal Election Commission is the one who oversees that. Now there's two types of money. There's hard money. That's how individuals give money, and it's traced. But there's also soft money, when you can give money to a political party and they will not be traced. They will not write your name down, how much you gave, or anything. Another requirement by the Federal Election Commission is that every ballot must be written in 2 languages. If you are in a German community, then it must be English and German and so on. Excuse me, I'm coming down with something. All right, political action committees, they're called PACs. Their job is to raise money, and some of them are large. They're called super PACs. We talked about that in class, about the 501s and the 527s. And their job is to raise a lot of money and give it to candidates. That they cannot personally contact the candidates, but they can spend the money to help him get elected. Referendum and initiative. Referendum is when the state legislature allows the people to vote on a law by putting their law on an election. Initiative is when the people sign a petition and force a proposed law to be put on the next election and vote. Okay, in 1980, of course, we had several big things. The election went to the House of Representatives because no one won a majority of it. But one of the big things is it's the first time that we peacefully transferred the power of the government from one party to another. And let's see. Okay. All right, next. Here is the belief that the ordinary people can influence the government. The Motor Voter Act is a way to try to figure out how to get the young people to vote. We thought maybe if we registered them when they registered the car, they'd vote, but that was not the case because the very next election they voted in smaller numbers. The year that they got the right to vote from the 16th Amendment, the next election they also voted in smaller numbers. There's a very small numbers there. Mandate is when you run on the idea that you're going to do something if they elect you, and then if you are elected, then you're kind of mandated to carry out that promise. Okay, party identification is still the best way to determine how you're going to vote. If they know what party you belong to, we can pretty much guess how you're going to vote. Who votes? Higher educated people, women, higher income, older Americans vote, union members, non-minority vote more than minorities do. And down here is if there's several people running for election and no one gets a majority, but there still will be a winner. So it's when someone gets less than 50% of the votes cast, but they still are declared a winner. Okay, electoral college, of course we know that they elect the president. Each state gets one vote for every person that got in Congress. And if no one receives the majority of the electoral vote, it goes to the House of Representatives and they will pick. In most of the states, except for 2, Maine and Nebraska, it's a winner take all, meaning whoever wins the most popular votes will get all of the electoral votes. Now, let's see, what does that say? Okay, and let's see, we'll go to the next one. All right, that may be all. That was kind of a short. That was 9 minutes and 20 seconds. So hopefully you get a chance to look over that for the test. Thank you, and may the force be with you.